Some shocking new details about the moron that tried to get famous, the moron that tried to send this country into chaos for the next 5 years. And also more questions. Why have we not got an official answer? Well, they found a second cell phone. And on that second cell phone, there's some interesting stories, some interesting things that he had been searching for. Also, some other politicians that he had pictures of, things of that nature. Yet we still don't have any kind of official narrative. We all know that Google could be, and his internet service provider, his cell phone provider, could be providing all the search engine history that anyone asks for. We know they can do this by IP. We know they can do this by device. Right now, we've seen nothing, yet we're supposed to believe that this guy that looks like his parents drank while he was in the womb managed to learn how to build up like a remote detonation device, became like a great marksman, was ignored by everybody else. I mean, was able to fly a drone over the rally site ahead of time. I mean, all sorts of absolute nonsense that we're going to get into as a big update here. I do want to remind people that obviously these videos are not well liked by some platforms. So I'm glad I have opportunity to mention a sponsor. This time it's me. It's my coffee company. Fresh roasted on demand coffee brand coffee. We've been in business for several years now. We're not some drop shipping outlet. We have ultra high quality whole bean and ground coffee available. Everything from your ultra light roast, Ethiopians, Colombian roast, up to a dark or an ultra dark roast. We now have, for a limited time, our summer flavors out, which you've just got to try. They're brand new, and I'm going to leave them linked in the description. I'm just announcing now, we have s'mores flavored coffee. We have orange creamsicle, which is ridiculously good. Hazelnut churro, blackberry cream. Go to Coffee Brand Coffee, support the channel, promo code The Quartering to save. Get one of these seasonal flavors. I guarantee you'll like it, or your money back. Well, let's start with the funny part. Okay, we now know the final search history of Lee Tardy Oswald. And what do you think it was? Is there anybody that might want to fashion a guess at what Lee Tardy Oswald's final search was? Well, it was prawn. Because of course it was. Would-be Trump remover Lee Tardy Oswald looked up prawn not long before he took the shot. The search was the last one he made on his phone, before wounding Trump when he spoke in Butler, Pennsylvania. FBI investigators discovered the search history after finally cracking his encrypted Samsung Android phone days after the attempt. So he had an encrypted phone, too. One final yank. I guess we're all kind of human. I'm guessing it was some sort of inflation stuff that maybe he learned from Count Dankula. Or maybe he was looking up hair plugs. But, I think you have, they had found a second phone. That was encrypted. There's so many questions around, First of all, I want to know how this kid built, a remote device that goes boom without any books or any internet search history. I don't believe that he did. Other queries included Princess Kate, as well as her fellow British royals, both Trump and Joe Biden, as well as that loser Crumley. Senior law enforcement whose source told the Daily Beast about the prawn search said it was, quote, not unusual among high-profile people like him. I mean, everybody searches. I'm not really that. I'm curious what kind, Lee Tardy Oswald, what was he gooning to? Agents could not initially break into his phone and send it to OpTech division at FBI headquarters in Quantico, Virginia. The only other activity on his phone were texts from his parents asking where he was after he didn't come home from the range when they expected. Let me just tell you what happened here. He got a burner phone. And that day, or at some point, he was able to completely wipe the phone, reset it before he knew they were going to recover his phone. So he was able to, goon one last time, coom one last time, look up the president, look up, I don't know, the royal family, and then try to go, be an anti-hero. I mean, also, by the way, investigators have moved on to his laptop and an external hard drive found during a search of their parents' home where he lived. He had images of the Princess of Wales on his phone. You know what? You know what he's using that for? That was for a different kind of target practice. That was for a different kind of target practice. He also looked up the FBI director. Well. He also looked up the FBI director, Christopher Wray, and U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. What a coincidence, guys. What a coincidence. It's not clear yet why he was looking up Kate, the only non-American in the group. I could tell you why. He was jerking it to her picture, okay? Crook's interest in her only was revealed by the FBI, who searched his 2 cell phones. That's normal for a 22-year-old, right? Isn't that normal for a 22-year-old to have 2 cell phones? I mean, and neither one of them has any incriminating search history on it. That's normal, right? I wonder why he was looking up the FBI director. That's extremely curious. Things keep getting curiouser and curiouser and curiouser and curiouser. I could tell you that it's my opinion that those searches were planted. It's my opinion that that was a brand new burner phone that they did a couple cursory searches. FBI director, the princess, and prawn, chucked it in the room to be discovered. That's my opinion. Obviously, I can't know that, right? I can't know that for sure. They also found photos of Biden and Trump. I don't have a single. I've got probably 100,000 pictures in my phone, and not one of them was Biden or Trump. There are also searches for the dates of Democratic National Convention. Investigators told the private briefing. Oh, I'm sure. They found Biden and Trump in his other materials. FBI officials in the briefing said that Kirk's search history indicated he had a strong interest in famous people. In the aftermath of the event, I mean, we still know nothing. We still don't actually have a official narrative, do we? In the days after the attempted, investigators have looked into the suspected loser's search or history in general, finding evidence that suggests he was isolated from the community and bullied in school. That's what they always say. Multiple sources briefed on the investigation told ABC News. While they continue to search for a motive, investigators are wondering whether he had expected to survive the attack. The suspect's former classmates described him as quiet and said he came across as lonely without many friends. Investigators are also looking into what appeared to be disinformation that he was consuming before the event and whether or not it played any role in it, according to law enforcement. Uh-oh. Was he watching CNN? Was he watching CNN? Investigators have not found any evidence that the suspect, 20-year-old loser, worked with anyone else. I believe, it is my opinion, that he did work with someone else. Perhaps a handler. It's my opinion. I don't have any evidence of that. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's my opinion. Leave a like right now if it's also your opinion. He also does not appear to have any ties to any kind of groups or individuals, law enforcement sources say. Oh, what a coincidence. The suspect had 2 phones, one on him and the second one found at his home. What, did someone drop it? I don't know a lot of 20-year-olds that have 2 cell phones. Multiple law enforcement sources confirmed to ABC News one of the phones, which was unlocked by the FBI, did not turn up any significant information about their motives, while what was described as a routine information for a 20-year-old male. Investigators also found a tactical vest in the suspect's car, though it's unclear why he did not wear it during the attack. Well, it would have drawn attention, obviously. And the former president rally, leaving some investigators wondering whether he had anticipated surviving it. He also asked the employer if he could take a day off on Sunday, the day of the attack, but then he would return to work on Monday. The weapon recovered at the scene was legally purchased by the father in 2013. By the way, both of this kid's parents were behavioral psychologists or something like that. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. The suspect had attended what was described as a preseason for the rifle club. I don't really care about any of that kind of stuff. Just because he liked to, target practice doesn't mean anything. Now, they haven't said what kind of prawn they were looking into, but it is curious to me. But he also found searches of the rally site, use of encrypted platforms. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to use this to try and break like Signal and other encrypted networks. You see this? Of course, there's 3 sources familiar with the briefing on the day of the rally. He sought out photos of Butler Farm Show grounds, the site of the rally, and made searches about Allegheny Arms in Pennsylvania where he lived, blah, blah, blah. I mean, what platforms did he use? The briefer told lawmakers they were still attempting to access 3 foreign encrypted platforms that he used on his cell phone, and they haven't named them. According to sources, officials told lawmakers they found over 14,000 images on his primary phone and found among them a screenshot of an online feed of July 13th rally saved at 6:01. That would have been 10 minutes before he began the attack. They also found stock images of all sorts of other stuff. I mean, what kind of encrypted, are they going to use this to go after encrypted networks, all sorts of stuff like that? He watched the own live stream. He was watching the live stream while he did it. Isn't that wild? I suppose he probably wanted to, check to see, Also, the Fulton County District Attorney was found on his cell phone. All of these people's pictures are on there. What a coincidence. To me, they could have ended up, anywhere. They could have ended up anyhow. But they're going to use this to go after Proton Mail. They're going to use this to go after Signal. They're going to use this to go after end-to-end encryption. I'm sure of it. And had he succeeded, they'd use it to go after our 2A rights. What I'm told is that he also hid his pew-pew near the site. Nobody saw it. So when he walked up, people asked, how did he walk up? Nobody noticed him carry it. I guess he had planted it there earlier, maybe the day before, maybe many hours before the event. The whole thing is an absolute mess. Let me know what you think.